So, I remember going to her house because she decided to invite people to her house to do a nice little,
orgy.
inter.
Man!
Oh my god.
These high school kids. Not where it was going.
Monica's like, well, that's what I did. I mean,
Jesus Christ.
Oh god.
I mean, that's what I would do, but you know, you don't. Okay.
We had a party. It was an Undertale type of party. It was all okay. It was like basically she had like 3 different laptops in a row on a fucking little IKEA desk, and like 2 desktops in the living room, and everyone was playing Undertale, and we're all having a little fun and shit and like that. We were trying to beat each other's scores and how fast we can finish one of the fights, and it was all fun games. Here comes 8:00 p.m.
This is a ranger party. Okay.
Do you need another one?
Oh no.
Two.
I need one right now.
Two of the guys left. I'm by myself with one gay guy that I don't remember.
Oh no.
2 girls that's very, very, very part of DeviantArt.
Oh, no.
And the fucking cosplay bitch. Oh.
I take offense
This
to that.
doesn't sound bad. This doesn't sound bad. What's wrong with this?
I take offense to that.
Just wait.
I take offense to that too. I cosplay as well. Come on,
No, but
you're not that girl. Like,
spears? Do you shove spears? Do you?
I mean, that's getting into personal territory.
it's not being denied.
Yeah, don't
Alright.
kink shame. Hey,
Move over a little
what
bit.
I do behind closed doors is my business.
It's good. Like right here. Fine.
They wanted to.
Oh, so
They wanted to role play.
Behind closed doors.
They
This
made
sounds
me
amazing.
They made me fucking Sans. They made me Sans. The gay
Baby
guy.
sands.
The gay guy was Papyrus.
No.
Oh my god.
Not
yes.
like this.
Yes.
I don't want to talk anymore.
Yes, Jesus.
Con, come on.
You gotta let it out, Con. You gotta let it out.
You
And that
can't,
is
you
your
can't
first
let it- you
experience.
can't let it
Hold
well up
on.
inside
Take
of
another
you.
drink. Take another drink.
I'm gonna.
We're here for
Hold
you,
on, I'm gonna go
God.
get my bottle real quick.
I think what he was trying to avoid was letting it out, Lele.
No, you can't let it well up inside of him. It's gonna eat him out.
He needs another big
Oh,
swig.
not like that. Not like that.
I like this Jello bird.
The
You
Jello
know what I was trying to
bird.
say.
I know you.
Hey, how do you say that?
We finally got
How
the
to
video
go
and
yourself.
uploaded with his
Hi,
heart.
Jello
I
bird.
did it to
You're so
myself.
cute.
What?
Oh, baby, that's a nice burn right there. Oh,
He actually makes me want Jello, like really bad.
Yeah.
I've been calling him your rail for like ever.
Looks like the
Ariel,
stuff
how
from
is it
Ghostbusters.
easy? It's Ariel.
How's that flubber?
There's no you or anything. It's your rail.
It's Ariel. He's the one who told me how to pronounce it.
I
Is that
know,
how do you
but
pronounce
Ariel? Ariel?
Okay.
Ariel?
How you get anything
Is
else
it
other than
like
Ariel?
tier?
I'm
Like
drinking more than
TYR?
water
Ariel?
right now. I'm drinking more than fucking water
Yeah,
right
like
now.
Ariel, but Ariel.
Yeah.
Morgan, drink water.
Oh my lord.
I'm drinking.
Okay.
Thank you, Corsiv, for the subprime, man. Appreciate it. MPP dash plays. Thank you for the subprime. Love you guys.
Oh no.
Did you have a bad time, Morgan?
So the 3 girls decided to say, "Hey, Papyrus, hey, Sans, you should go to the kitchen and make spaghetti."
Is that like what the kids are calling it nowadays?
No, it's an actual thing in the
It's
game.
It's in the
In
game.
the game.
Oh.
Pirates made spaghetti.
So Papyrus grabs a spatula and smacks me on the ass.
Oh my god.
Wow.
You can't make this shit up!
I like this laughing cat.
Oh, he's gonna make some spaghetti, alright.
Internally and externally screams.
Is that where it ended?
No, that's not where.
Oh no.
Tail part.
Oh no, this is like PTSD inducing.
Don't eat Papyrus's
It's
pancakes.
therapy. He has to get it all out.
The fucking the girl, the cosplay girl said there was spaghetti in the cupboard.
Oh
What?
no.
So the gay guy opens the cupboard and grabs the spaghetti.
Wait.
There's actually spaghetti in the cupboard?
Yeah, there was spaghetti. And he cracks the spaghetti and starts throwing it at me.
The story of a cause assaulted by a gay man with spaghetti.
Okay, so what got worse is because the three girls were trying to like peer pressure us to kiss each other. That was the worst part. That was the worst part.
Oh my fuck.
So I'm like, no, I don't want to. No.
Oh, dark. I saw. You tried.
Oh my
God.
So I said no, and the three girls were like, okay, fine. Then we're gonna roleplay upstairs.
Oh no.
All right, we're getting somewhere.
We're crossing the line.
Oh no.
We're getting some
Yeah.
spears.
I left immediately when they say that.
Please.
I left immediately.
Wow, we got
Good.
There's more to the story, isn't there?
You know what's the worst part? The next day was Monday. We had to go to see each other in school.
Oh.
Oh,
You didn't even have a
So-
simmer day.
Oh no.
So I see him in the
That was
cafeteria.
Monday.
I saw the guy get second period, but anyway, at the cafeteria lunchtime, we were all sitting at the table. I'm being very quiet. The gay guy's being very quiet. The three girls are being very, very fucking quiet.
Oh no.
Are
I
they?
walked into.
So I asked them, the three girls.
Shut up.
I asked the three girls, how was your night? They tell me
Oh.
it got weird.
Oh,
Oh.
really? It got weird after you
Weird.
left?
They said it got weird.
All right,
Oh no.
can
I
I ask?
asked them how weird. They said the cosplay bitch got her fucking spirit out.
Got what?
Her spear
Hold
out.
on, I'm
Got the
lagging.
spear out.
Oh. What the fuck?
Play, bitch.
Can I ask, were you guys drinking?
Natalie Alto.
Yeah, were you guys drinking?
Yeah, Natalie.
Were you being
Okay.
safe?
She got her spear out.
I told them to elaborate afterwards just to know what happened afterwards, just because I was so curious on what happened.
Did
They
you
said
just
they didn't want to
protect
talk about it, and they said they'll never probably ever talk about it. To this day, I'm still in contact with the gay guy. I'm still in contact with Natalie, and they still to this day don't tell me what happened in that upstairs room.
Oh
I can
my.
only imagine.
Oh. Well, where'd he go?
That is my experience with fan base,
What is he doing?
Undertale fan base.
Kind of kinky, man.
It's over now, Morgan. It's over. You don't have to do it ever again.
What is going on?
My face is so red right now.
That was good story, Morgan. Good story.
It was intense. Okay, well, I've done some shithole gigs.
Yeah.
Fuck. I remember driving out into a middle of a fucking desert. No one was around for at least 50 miles. And there's just this random building in the middle of nowhere. Okay? And I'm literally serious. It was like just this building and then literally like a plain, right? And it was just hot, deserty, sandy stuff, right? Okay, it's kind of weird, but honestly, the gig was great, but it was a shithole. We were on these like I don't know, high school like bleacher things that were like set up. It actually broke apart while I was jumping, and my foot fell right through, which was great. It's okay, I'm fine.
Oh, shit.
But that was a pretty bad gig just because it was in the middle of nowhere. But I would say probably worst gig. Fuck, there's so many. Oh, I told this story yesterday. I won't tell that one. There's one gig we played. All right. I love women. They're great. You know.
What is this preface? Uh-huh.
But no one likes a hoe. All right. You know.
Okay.
So I'm fucking playing.
Okay.
All right, I'm fucking playing, right? And there's a girl and her mom are fucking shit-faced, okay? Well, they're getting really fucking into this, all right? So they start dancing and they're doing like the babe. Okay, whatever, fine. Now I'm just playing my fucking shit.
The sexy dancing.
Yeah, her and her mom. Wonderful. I mean the girl was attractive. She was fine. She was just shit-faced, and her mom, I don't know what kind of white trash. I think I was in Cincinnati or something. Like I don't even know where the fuck I was. But they were just like they were weird. Okay, they were fucking weird, and so they ended up somehow getting permission to go back to the side of the stage, and then and I'm on stage, right? So I'm chilling, and they just like. They're just like looking at me and like doing these things and then like shouting at me and like I want to do you and all this stuff, and it's like whatever, fuck, you know, you just ignore them. And I'm a kind of guy that, you know, I mean, it's kind of funny, so I'm not gonna stop what I do. I mean, I'm gonna make myself appealing. That's my job. So anyways, they ended up coming on the stage when we weren't looking, and they surround me and they start doing the whole
They're like
thing.
touching your body.
Yeah, doing the. And I was like, what the fuck? All right, well, fine, whatever. After the show, whatever, I got through the show. I moved on. They were able to get him off the stage. I asked them to move because it couldn't work. Then the stage hands came up and got him out there. But fine, whatever. I'm flattered. I'm glad you find me attractive. Thank you. I get off the stage and I'm literally accosted by this girl who then her whole thing was, so can you show me the van? I want to show the van. I'm like, what?
Gross.
Yeah. Listen,
Wait, and
listen.
her mom was there?
Mom was right there, and the mom started saying,
"Oh my god, gross."
Listen, you should let her go down on you. What?
Oh, what the fuck?
Listen, she likes to get down. What the fuck, Mom? Dude, are you fucking serious?
God,
These
holy
are
shit,
white
Mom.
trash people, man. All right, but anyways, you know, it's all good. Then the brother shows up. He wanted in on the me mom. They all three wanted a piece at the same time. This was gonna be a family affair.
What the fuck?
Aren't these people fucking weird? Yeah. No.
Fucking Cincinnati, man.
Well, the stagehands were laughing. They were just like, "You should do it." What the fuck? No, I'm not gonna do it. I'd end up leaving with an STD or something worse. No thanks. I'm good, man. I'm good.
That's awkward.
Yeah, a little awkward. Yeah, a little awkward.
I have a story similar. You know how Hollywood is full of skeezy men, right? I was doing a music video for a pretty well-known artist. And one of the producers was like this late 40s dude, like super typical like Hollywood producer type. And he like zones in on me for some reason. And he just hangs around me for the whole shoot. It's like a 14-hour shoot. And afterwards, he like texts me. I don't know how he got my number, probably from the call sheet. But he texts me. He's like, "Hey, you want to take a ride on my private jet to I forget the name of. It's like some coastal city in California that takes like 6 hours to drive to."
Okay.
He's like, "You want to take my private jet for lunch on Saturday?" I'm like, I have a gig. I'm good. He's like, "Oh, okay, But the weird part is, he was like, "You want to go with my parents on my private jet to this place on Saturday?"
What the fuck?
Yeah. It was so weird. So fucking weird.
So it's either his parents' private jet, or he just really liked you. Did he just meet
I
you?
have no idea. He just met me, yeah.
He probably wouldn't have came back alive.
Probably not. Yeah, it was really bizarre. There's been a lot of like weird old guys that hit on me during shoots. It's so gross.
Just say no. Just say no.
Yeah. Oh, of course. And I'm not into that.
Yeah. Fucking old people.
Yeah, fuck old people.
Not that old, guys. Right.
He wasn't Harvey Weinstein. No.
Oh my god. You guys want to hear a story of mine?
Scooter, that
Go for it, dude.
is a huge fire
Okay.
hazard.
Yeah, let's hear it.
This is actually real,
Is it ad
so I'm
friendly?
sorry.
Oh, geez. Okay.
All right. So I know, I'm messing it up. So, as you guys know, I used to be in a band when I toured around. I played a lot of WoW when I was on tour, and one of these times we were down south along the border of Mexico, and we were just ratting it up to go. We shouldn't have done that, by the way. Anyways, one night we were driving, and we were going through. First of all, by the way, I never really adventure out of my house for the most part. However, on tour I was everywhere, right? So like, new experiences, new whatever. So I hadn't seen a lot of places. So when I was down through Texas, the bottom of Texas, all of a sudden fucking trendles of lightning go across the sky. I've never seen that before. I'm from the Pacific
Trendles. Ooh,
Northwest.
that's a good word.
Yeah, just kind of right. So it goes across, right?
Yeah.
Sweeping, and I'm like, holy crap! Sign of the apocalypse. Okay, well that's not enough. Then next, couple miles down, thousands of frogs start hopping across this road. Right. This is like an abandoned highway just right along the border. Okay, freaky. All right, second sign of the apocalypse. Then the drummer needed to go to the bathroom. I'm not going to go into our drummer. He had a bathroom problem. It's fine, whatever. I didn't want to stop, but there was like this population 20. Like there's just only small towns across that area. So he's like, fine, we'll stop. I was kind of skeptical about it because then the third side of the apocalypse there was just this random girl. And by the way, this is like 2 to 3 a.m. Dark, pitch black. Nobody else is around this abandoned town. And there's just like this random chick with her hands in the air going, right? We shouldn't have stopped, but we stopped anyways because he really wanted to stop. So we stop, all right? We stop at this place. We go to the bathroom. Are you trying to tell me to stop?
I was trying to be the girl, like I was.
Oh,
hanging the
gotcha. Oh,
story.
God. Okay, gotcha. All right. So we stop, all right, and we all go to the bathroom, right? It's our pit stop because we didn't want to stop again. And we all kind of get some candy. Anyways, it's the only place in town that was open. Everywhere else is just pitch black. Well, anyways, as soon as we walk into this place, the guy behind the counter calls somebody. And then as soon as we come out of the bathroom, 2 guys drive up. And then as soon as we get in line, they do this thing where they put one of their guys in the front of the register, talking about how he lost his wallet and where's his wallet, and starts blaming us that were waiting behind him. And then his buddy gets behind us and sandwiches us in between this line. Well, anyways, the guy behind us was like, have you guys ever been to Mexico? No, I haven't been to Mexico. Have you ever been to Mexico stuffed with drugs? Well, I ran, and everybody else left. And at this time, the drummer's fiance was with us, okay? She was a good-looking girl, all right? She decided it was time to change into booty shorts and a freaking tank top, and just, it was too much.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, she decides to bait these people, all right? And she bends over. I'm grabbing something. Yeah, right, lady. What are you doing in the middle of the night with this random people? You just don't do that. It's common sense. Anyways, she does that. The guys quickly see this, these 2 gentlemen, because they followed us out. And they ran to the back of their truck and grabbed some stuff out of their trunk. Okay, gentlemen. Yes, very, very gentlemanly like. Well, anyways, I screamed. The bass player shoves her into the van. Everybody gets in, and we ended up in a high-speed chase going about 150, 160 miles an hour with them chasing us, trying to get in front of us until we got to the Border Patrol. In which case, we didn't say anything. Border Patrol was on high alert. The dogs came in and did their whole thing, but we didn't say anything because we didn't know who to trust at that point. And then we just kept on our merry way. The end.
Jesus.
What the?
Was this in Arizona?
Sorry.
It was freaky, I tell you.
A little weird, but.
Oh, yeah.
Alright.
All right, story time.
They're asking about this. Yeah.
All right.
Alright, so. Alright. It's a lot. It's a lot, but it's like almost like a movie, like, and I feel like it's gonna happen, like someone's gonna take this and make it a movie. So, alright. So I met this girl like 3 years ago at a con, and we were like really good friends, you know, we hung out a lot, we were like really, really good friends.
Right.
And I mean, sometimes she would make comments that were a little weird, but I never like thought about it. Like at a Comic-Con once, we went to like the VIP party, cringe by the way, and like she would be like, I wish a guy would hit on me, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm like, you're really pretty. She's like, you're just fucking saying that, like every guy in here keeps looking at you, and no, like I was like, okay, like stuff like that, and I'm like, this is a little awkward. I was like, whatever, she's probably just, you know, not confident, whatever. So I was actually on my birthday this year, I got a text, and it's from this girl. And she's like, hey, I found a guy, and he knows your Twitch, he watches you, and, like, he also plays League, he's really attractive, I know him in real life, it's fine, and I'm like, oh, okay. So she gave him my number, and we were texting for a little bit, and he seemed fine, like, A-okay, like, it was, like, 2 weeks, he was okay, normal, and I'm like, okay. Like, I trust him enough to go on a date with him, sure, whatever. So he comes and picks me up, and I mean, he looks the same. He's not a catfish. Nothing weird. He actually like rolled up in a Mercedes Benz. It was like kind of weird. I'm like, oh yeah. I was like, okay.
Like, hit the jackpot. Yeah. All right. Okay.
Shut the fuck. I mean, considering I went on a date where the guy was wanting me to try his lingerie, like,
yeah. Okay. Sure. Yeah.
Those type of dates. All right. So I get in the car, or whatever, and I'm like, oh, so what are we gonna be doing? And he's like, oh, it's a surprise. I'm like, oh, okay, sure. So we're driving, and it's been about 2 hours, and I'm like, are we going somewhere? He's like, yeah, trust me, we're almost there. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm like texting my friend, like, hey, just letting you know, like, signal gets bad, you know, I'm with this guy. Here's my last location, just being safe, I don't know.
God.
And we're talking, and, right? Hold on, my model looks scuffed.
Yeah.
So we're talking and stuff, and he's like, so, have you ever heard of, I'm not gonna dox myself, but I might actually, alright, whatever. So he's asked me if I'd ever heard of the city, and I'm like,
okay,
yeah,
sure.
why? I'm like, isn't that where, like, a prison is? He was like, yeah. I'm like, oh, yeah, I know that place, yeah. He's like, oh, okay. I'm like, why? He's like, oh, nothing. I'm like, oh, alright. So, like, 15 minutes later, he's like, alright, we're here. I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm, like, looking around, and we're at the entrance to the prison. And I'm like,
what
the fuck? What? And he literally slowly turns and looks at me. Totally not even the worst part of the story, by the way. He was like, so, I feel a really good connection with you, and I don't know, I wanted to introduce you to my parents. And I'm like,
what?
Prison? He's like, yeah, they might be in prison. I'm not gonna lie, I'm the reason why they're in prison, and I haven't seen them lately, but I just feel like you're the one, and I want you to meet them. And I'm like, no. I'm like, I don't. I'm just texting like, fuck my life. Like, no, it's fine. It's okay. We should just go on with the date. You know, like, we don't have much time left. It's already getting dark, and I bet you visiting hours are already over. Yeah, so I mean, maybe next time. We can do it next time. He's like, you know, you're right. Yeah, okay, all right. I'm like, okay. Hey, cool, perfect. And I'm like texting my friend. I'm like, I'm 2 hours away from home with a guy who just wanted to take me to a fucking prison, and I'm like, okay. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna text her, and she's like, all right, well, give me your location, keep your location on, I'm gonna start driving to come get you. Because like her dad actually is like a sheriff in our city, so like it's pretty easy, like to, yeah. I'm like, okay, all right. So we're driving, it's like 15, 20 minutes later, and it's getting really dark really quick. And I'm like, okay. And I look at my phone and I watch my signal go from like full bars to literally 1. And I'm like, and then I watch it go to like the little 3G thing where it's like you have no fucking signal and you're fucked.
Right.
And I look at him, I'm like, hey, I'm not getting any signal. And he looks at me and he's like, I know. And I'm like,
Jesus Christ.
Okay. I'm like I'm freaking out. I'm like, this is it. This is it. All the amount of times I go on random dates with people, this is how I die. I'm like, all right. Okay. Hey, and I'm like, hey, I have to pee, like, so bad. Like, I'm about to pee myself. Like, can we stop at a gas station? He was like, the nearest gas station's over 35 miles away. And
Are you
I'm
fucking
like,
serious?
I'm like, okay. So we're in the country, it's dark, there's literally, like, there's actual fog on the road. Like, it was the stupidest stereotypical moment of my life, and I still hate myself for it, but I see a house, and I live in Kentucky, so in, like, I don't know, in this area that I was at, there's people that just, like, have, like, lawn chairs, and they just sit outside and hang out in the front yard.
Right.
And I'm like, hey, there's people right there. And I'm like, please, God, don't drive away. Like, I'm gonna die here. I'm like, can I go ask them really quick if I can use their restroom? He was like, I don't really want you to. I'm like, no, it's just okay. It's like, it'll be a couple minutes, I promise. And he's like, and I literally just pushed, like, the window down. I'm like, hey, guys, hey. And they're looking at me, and I'm like, can I use your restroom? And they just look at me like, what the fuck, bitch? Like, they were so confused, but, you know, it's Kentucky and not everyone's terrible. So they're like, yeah, okay, cool. And I'm like, okay, thank you. So I go in with them or whatever, and I'm like, hey, I think the guy I'm with is actually trying to, like, do something really sketchy. Like, I'm not even from around here. I live 3 hours away. I don't have any signal. I don't know this man. And the woman's, like, talking in her little, like, accent. She's like, oh, it's okay, darling. Like, here, I'll get my husband. He'll go talk to him real quick, and then we'll call the police. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right, cool. Okay. So I'm just sitting there like, what if he has a gun? If we're all gonna die? And I'm already thinking, like, all right, so this is a 2-story house. Like, maybe if I lock myself in a room upstairs and I can jump out the window, like, I might only break a leg. Like, I was thinking hardcore about this.
Okay.
So, like, the husband goes outside and, like, talks to him. And the woman calls the police. And, like, we all go out there, and I'm like, oh, hey, yeah, she was telling me, like, we have so much in common. And we're like, I'm just trying to do small talk. And then eventually the police get there. And, like, you could tell the entire time before even the police was there, he was fucking pissed. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right. The police finally get there, and they're like, hey, what's going on, guys? And I'm like, hey, nothing much. Just, we're all hanging out. He's like, yeah, we had some, you know, complaints about some things. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's crazy. What a weird. He's like, yeah, like, I'm trying to make it seem like, oh, I didn't totally just call the police on this guy just in case he's got a Glock, like, ready to fucking load right next to him. I'm like, okay, yeah. So the police come, and, like, apparently I didn't have signal, so I didn't fucking know this. But my friend, her dad, like, did, like, a check on him, and he had a warrant out for his arrest.
Oh.
And so I don't know if he was wanting to flee. Well, I know what he was wanting to do. So, like, when they already came or whatever, like, he had a warrant out so they could arrest him. Right. And they were just like, oh, hey, like, you know, can I see your identification? Like, they were just, I don't know why they asked that. Honestly, I don't know. So they showed, like, the ID or whatever. He's like, all right, so I'm going to search your car. You actually, you have a warrant out for your arrest. And I'm like, okay, all right, this is cool. So they checked the fucking back of, like, the car or whatever. Yeah. And there was literally a shovel and tarp and rope. And I'm like, Monka fucking S?
What the fuck? Aatrox.
Oh, no. So the fucked up part about this is, so he goes to jail. And it turns out the girl actually set me up with this guy for him to try and kill me. Because she was jealous. And it was a huge plan. And now they're dating in, like, prison or whatever. And they write each other love letters. Yeah. So that happened.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Aatrox, are you like a really bad judge of character, or do you just get peer pressured, or do you get peer pressured into horrible situations?
I think everyone's nice. I don't know. That's why, yeah.
Okay.
I don't go on dates anymore now, though. So
okay, good.
Fine.
You're cut off for a while, all right?
That's now. Yeah. But
You can't even trust
stop.
your girlfriends. I mean, come on.
I know. What the fuck?
Do you have any good friends
I mean,
now?
like, looking back. Do you have friends? Yeah, I
good
have
good friends.
Thank you.
Good
Thank
girlfriends.
You. Yeah, I have good girlfriends. Yeah, thanks. I know it's surprising, right? Wow, yeah, I do.
I was just asking because of that crazy bitch, alright?
I mean, my IRL. So I said, like, when I got, I think it was like 5,000 followers or something on Twitch,
Yeah.
I would do like an IRL stream. So on Valentine's Day, I did my first IRL stream, and I did it with my two best friends that are girls, and we did it at some really nice fucking restaurant. It was super nice, like the very top of a huge building. It was like it was like $35 just for a little side bowl thing of macaroni and cheese. Like it was just not even like an actual entree. It was just literally like a little side. It was so expensive. So like they even give out free like things of champagne. But anyway, so we're hanging out, you know, we're having a good time trying to get this stream and stuff started, and we're like drinking some wine. And my one friend's like, "Oh yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm gonna go, you know, take a smoke break." And we were like, "Oh, okay." Someone literally gave me bits that says "move out, please."
please. Which by the way, can anybody PM me the IRL stream? That'd be great. Just go ahead and send it to me if you can find it.
Shit's deleted immediately. I don't know how I was not banned. I am not going to lie. But anyway, so she comes back after smoking, and I'm like, "Wow, you smell a lot like bourbon. That's weird. I didn't know bourbon cigarettes existed." And I'm just like thinking in my head, like, "All right, great, okay. I'm pretty sure this woman just did like casual fucking bottle while she was in the bathroom. Okay." So she comes up and she's like, "I am so happy that we're here." And I'm like, "Oh, fucking shit." And like, this is all on stream. And like, my friend and I just look at each other like, "Oh no." And she's like, "So this is like your Twitch? Oh my god, I used to stream too, but it's on this site called like Chatterbait. My name." And we're like, "No. We're like, shut the fuck up. And I'm like, "No. And the waiter comes and they're like, "Hey, here's your receipts. All right, this is for you." And then he says my friend's real name, and we're like, "Ah!" And then my fucking drunk friend's like, "Oh my god, here's my card." And she points it right at the camera and shows them her fucking card. And I'm like, "This cannot be given any fucking way." So I'm like, "Okay."
This is your good friend?
Alcohol hits her like,
This is...
yeah, two good friends. Well, one of them's in jail, by the way. Anyway,
what the fuck is...
So she gets really drunk, and I'm like, and she's like, "Are you guys ready to go? Because I want to go, like, let's go to a bar." And I'm like, "It's 3 a.m. and you're drunk, bitch. Like, no." And so she literally, this is like on stream, she takes her heels off and she's like, "I'm fucking done with you guys. I'll go on my own." She threw her fucking heels off in the high-class restaurant and like runs out of the fucking restaurant. And we're like, "What the fuck?" So I end stream and we're like chasing her, and it's like in a downtown, like it's really big city, and I'm like, "Emily?" And like, I don't know where she's at, and we're in heels and we're dressed like kind of slutty. I'm not gonna lie, it's Valentine's. Emily, where are you? And like, I just hear like somewhere like really quietly, she's like, "Oh my god, yes, I would love some drugs." And I'm like, no. I'm like, "Emily, where are you?" So I turn the corner and she's with the homeless man, and he's like, "Hey," and I'm like, "Hey." He's like, "So do you guys want some drugs or like some alcohol?" I'm like, no. And she's like, "Oh, you have alcohol? Oh my god." I'm like, "No, Emily, come on, bitch." Like, and she's like leaning over on the homeless man, and like her tits are almost out, and this homeless man just like gets real close, and I'm like, "No, Emily, come back, come on." So like we get her back, and like we are lost in downtown at this point. Like we don't know where the fuck we are. We went down streets for like 45 minutes, and I'm like, fuck. Okay, all right, fine, we got this. So we like get an Uber, you know, all this shit, and we get to the parking garage, and she had her own car. She was wanting to drive, and she's like, "I'm driving home. Like, I don't need you guys. You guys aren't fun." And I'm like, "Emily, you're drunk. Like, we can't do this." And she's like, "No, you're drunk." I'm like, Emily, like you're gonna go to jail. She's like, I haven't went to jail since like last year, and that's only because I drove a car and the car was drunk. And I'm like, the car wasn't. Okay. I'm like, okay.
Hey,
And
Trucks.
I'm like, Meredith, like, I know. And I'm like, Meredith, can you get the keys from her? Because Meredith's like fucking 6 foot, and I'm fucking 5'1". Like, I'm not gonna
Right.
intimidate anyone except for
Right.
maybe like a bunny, and
Right.
that's even debatable. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, Meredith, can you get the keys? So like, Meredith comes up to her and she's like, hey, can I have your keys? And Emily literally just fucking punches the fuck out of Meredith, and she's like,
Oh
stay
my
the fuck
God.
away from me, bitch. And I'm like, I'm like, what the fuck? And so we had to call the police and get her. And apparently that was her third DUI, by the way, an attempted yeah. So she's still in jail. Free Emily. Hashtag free Emily. Yeah. So
Hey,
it's a
Trucks.
that VOD, and I
Hey, hey, Trucks. Listen.
Meredith's good. Meredith's a good friend though. She's
Okay,
great.
Meredith's
Emily,
good. All right.
Emily's Emily just might.
Meredith made better life choices.
yeah. No, that's the one that called her father's the sheriff. So like,
Got
she's
it.
really good.
So she's a good girl. All right.
Emily's
You have been around some questionable people, my dear.
Welcome to Kentucky.
No, it's not like it's. Oh, you're. All right. Did you know her from like school, or where did you know these girls from?
Meredith, I went to middle school with. Emily, I met at Oculus.
Okay. Okay.
She also got fired from Oculus for drinking, by the way.
What the fuck?
Yep.
You have some crazy friends. All right. Well, at least you got one good friend that's not gonna do anything crazy.
No, that was a fucking great Valentine's. That was a great stream, you know.
I'm sure your viewers were loving it.